मेरा रास्ता वखरा इस करके मैं भुल्ल साहब नाल हमदर्दी प्रगट करदा ਉਹਦੀ ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਕਲਿਆਂ ਲਈ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕਰਦਾ ਪਰ ਜਿਸ ਦਿਨ ਮੇਰੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਆਏਗੀ ਵਰਤਾਰਾ ਵੱਖਰਾ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਨਜ਼ਾਰਾ ਵੱਖਰਾ ਹੋਏਗਾ
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to a third episode of RajoanaTV. Today we're going to discuss the young man who became Shaheed, Shaheed Jaspal Singh, the 18-year-old Gursikh who was killed during the firing at the peaceful protesters. There's a particular poignant thing that I want to discuss about Shaheed Jaspal Singh, and it's probably something that a lot of people have overlooked. Yes, we've lost an 18-year-old young man. Yes, a family have lost their only son. They'll never recover from this. We'll move on with our lives, but only they'll know how they'll spend the rest of their lives without him. He was an 18-year-old young man, an engineering student who brought great grades home. He was a family boy, didn't get up to any mischief, and most of all, he was a Gursikh. He could have been saved if they wanted to. When he was shot, no medical assistance was given to him. Not one single police officer or someone from the military had enough heart to pick him up and say, let's take him to hospital. Look at this young man, I've probably got a young brother just like him, I've probably got a son just like him. But he was left to lay there to die. I mean, what kind of society has India become? But one of the things that I really wanted to discuss was the thinking and the meaning behind a young 18-year-old Gursikh's Shaheedi in Punjab. Now, we all know that in the 1980s, the Indian government waged an all-out war against the Sikh community. They cordoned off Punjab, and for the next 10 years, it became a killing field. And what was really scary is that it was all legalized. The 59th Amendment to the Indian Constitution said that the right to life can be suspended on mere grounds of suspicion of terrorism. So if you even just suspected of being a terrorist, you could be killed. Not even arrested, but killed. And the army circular, the police circular that went round about what a terrorist is, the description was somebody who reads Nanak's Bani and wears a pug. This is their description of a terrorist. The Armed Forces Special Powers Act said that we can go into any Gurdwara and we can raise it to the ground if we suspect terrorists are in there. Legalizing the destruction of our Gurdwara. TARDAS, you could arrest somebody, throw them in jail for 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, without any charge, without any court appearance. And Punjab still remains one of the only states, I think, the only state in India where a confession to a police officer in a police station can be used as evidence in court. We all know what Punjab police is like, and we all know what their methods of getting a confession out. Even the most innocent man would say that I'm guilty. So they legalized all of this. Operation Shuddhikaran, the rape of Sikh women was made legal. So during the 1980s, they mowed us down. They literally wiped out a whole generation. After the killings in districts like Gurdaspur and Amritsar, you could not find a young man to marry a girl because there was none left. There was just nothing left. After the killing fields, after Bhai Rajoana got rid of Byanta and a lot of the killing stopped, a lot of the killing of innocent people stopped, the Indian government decided that rather than kill these people with bullets, we'll start a hidden war. A war that doesn't have bullets. A war that doesn't have the shrieks of young girls as they're being raped. A war that doesn't have the bombing of Gurdwara. But a war of subordination, a war of assimilation, and a war that we will carry out for the next 20 years, but it will be unspoken. There'll be unseen shackles of slavery, and I'll tell you which those unseen shackles of slavery are. By killing our youth, they decided that the little bits of pockets of Sikhs that are left, what we'll do, we'll pump Punjab full of intoxicants, we'll pump them full of alcohol. During Sant Bhindranwala's leadership of the Sikh human rights movement, you couldn't really find drugs, you couldn't really find alcohol. People wanted something more. Their conscience was elevated to an extent where they wanted to become decent, productive members of society. They wanted to become Gursikhs. But this faceless war, Punjab was swamped with drugs. It was grown freely. Alcohol was swamped in Punjab. Literally, intoxicants became the sixth river in Punjab. And the reason was, if we can get our youngsters on drugs, then they no longer think about their downtrodden status. All they can think about, where am I going to get the next fix? We all know, ask your parents, how boys in the band are so hooked on drugs. They don't go to college, they don't do any kitty body, they don't do anything. All they do is they, chill out with their mates all day, get high at night, and they look for the next fix during the day after. So that's one of them. The second one is female feticide. Punjab, again, I mean, if I go back to the alcohol and intoxicants, Punjab's the biggest alcohol consuming state in Punjab. So the facts of it speak for themselves. Female feticide, something that Bhai Rajoana has talked about. Bhai Rajoana's sister Bibi Kamaldeep Kaur has talked about. Punjab has the most amount of illegal abortion clinics in India. So what do they try and do? They try and wipe out a whole generation before it's even born. So they indoctrinate our people into thinking, don't have girls, girls are bad, you have to pay for their weddings, you have to do this. So when they find out we've got girls, they go to illegal abortion clinics, they'll have an abortion, and we've lost that generation. There's even cases where women were actually, you know, they're pregnant and they were going to have boys, but they were told, right, you're going to have a girl, and they'll abort those kids. So we lose that generation. So even before they're born, the Indian government have been successful in wiping out that generation. Again, that's another faceless war. The third one is cancerous water. Punjab is the land of 5 rivers, but our Punjab is running dry. We've got no water. They're digging 100 feet into the ground and they're finding nothing. They're being forced to drink dirty water. They're being forced to drink cancerous water. Human rights workers have gone into Punjab and other organisations have gone into Punjab, and they've alerted the authorities to the amount of women and men who have got cancer. Again, another way of killing yourself. There's no investment in Punjab. Another reason. Punjab probably the state in India that has the least amount of investment from the centre. Why is that? Young men, young women, they'll go to educate themselves, they'll go to colleges and universities only to find that they have no jobs. So they're forced to migrate in Canada, America, England, Italy, Australia. Our Punjabis have left Punjab, they've left that Punjab empty. So they're saying, right, well, the ones that we've got hooked on drugs, they're not going to think about their downtrodden status. They're not going to be thinkers. The educated ones, the ones that would think about their status, they're going to leave to find jobs elsewhere. Cancerous water is killing off the oldies. So Punjab, literally, after what we've done in the 80s, we've cleared off all the Kharkus, Jere Bachia, the ones who are left, will have this faceless war against them. But then you have Jaspal Singh. Jaspal Singh dodged all of that crap. He wasn't hooked on drugs. He educated himself. He didn't go to any fake Babe like these Asutosh or Ram Rahim to try and get him away from Sikhi. He dodged all that faceless war and became a Gursikh. And what happens to him? He gets fired out. So we come full circle. You kill off the youth, the Gursikhs that will do something for Sikhi, you mow them down. It takes you 10 years to do it, but you do it. The ones that are left, you think, right, let's just swamp them with so much rubbish that they have nowhere to go. Let's cut their Punjab off from the rest of India so it doesn't grow. Let's cut their education, let's cut their jobs so they don't grow mentally. Let's put fake Babi in so that it takes them away from Sikhi. But people like Jaspal Singh, there's more Jaspal Singhs who haven't succumbed to that kind of faceless war. They are thinkers, their conscience is elevated, they are thinking about their downtrodden status, they are moving forward in Punjab. So we've come full circle and they're straight bullets again. So now the Indian government are thinking, right, we do get information that there's Sikhi growing in Punjab again, that people are thinking about Sikhi, people are thinking about how Punjab is being mistreated. So what should we do? We'll put an end to the faceless war and we'll start bombarding them with bullets again. So as long as it takes, they'll get rid of all the thinkers, all the people that have any allegiance towards Sikhi, all the ones that want human rights and civil rights, they'll get rid of them. And then perhaps in 10 years, they'll start the faceless war again. The little bit that are left, they'll swamp them with drugs, swamp them with cancerous water, swamp them with female feticide. And then when we do get a little trickle of Sikhi again, mass killings. So we really have to look at what their plan is, these people are architects. They would have been thinking about Bhai Rajoana, we'll start the issue, people are going to rise, we'll have a reason to fire at them and we can start killing and we'll legalize it. So their planning is from 30 years behind. And what we do, we start planning when all the damage is done. So we really need to look at these things. We really need to look at the intentions of the Indian government, what they're trying to do to us. And Shaheed Jaspal Singh, I mean, we dedicate this episode, we dedicate a lot of things to him. He's a perfect example of someone who's risen above all the dirt, yet is still mowed down by Indian bullets. We really need to think about this. His granddad has been on TV and we salute him. He was an army officer served the Indian army, and what happens to his grandson is mowed down in a peaceful protest. We have absolutely no rights in India. Forget civil rights, we don't even have human rights. So I implore everybody, do your research. Do your research and see what's happening in Punjab. People like Jaspal Singh are going to rise to the top, but we don't want them to become the targets of Indian bullets. We want to put the spotlight on the real terrorists. The real terrorists are the police, the military, who are firing at innocent people, not the innocent people who are protesting doing Simran. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.